That's on camera, Jay.
Get tested.
What the fuck's wrong with that?
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 11 of the Average Aussies Premier League podcast. We've got the full crew back. We had to fill in Zach last week, but we've got our man Figos back. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. Good to have you
the
back.
way.
Django, how are you?
Oh,
Don't care. I did it to Ethan last week. I had to do it to you. Beefos, how are you? I actually care this week.
Pretty good.
That's good, mate. Well, big weekend, fellas. Jake, did you sleep much?
Nah, not really.
Oh, it was last night anyway, so you were
2:30 in the morning, man. Fucking cop a loss. Fuck that shit.
And then go to work. It's great way to start the week.
As always, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment to the video. Thanks everyone for watching who do tune in. It's really appreciated. We got TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and the Fantasy League. Had some new joiners this week. Beefos?
Did, mate. Welcome to Jackson, Dane, and Scott.
Welcome,
thanks
fellas.
for joining, boys.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Wish you all the best of luck as usual. And let's kick it off, fellas. We'll go straight for the Arsenal-Liverpool game.
The tension is palpable.
It's a bit tense in the den, isn't it?
Is
I'm not sure what I'm going to copy. I'm like this guy.
You won't see it coming. But it's coming.
I walked through the door. He didn't even say hello. He just gave me the finger. He didn't say anything. I was like, I haven't even said anything
It's
yet.
tough times at the moment. I can understand his hatred.
Anyway, we'll give the score for Pascal. It was Arsenal 3, Liverpool 2. Fellas, you want to go first, or you got like something you want to?
You go first. I'll rebuttal.
I mean, I could go first. Like, what?
Well, I don't know. What did you make of it then? What
did I make of it?
What was your thoughts? What were your thoughts?
I'm just happy that we could get Liverpool and actually produce a win. Like, obviously, our first big test was United, stumbled there. Tottenham, decimated.
3-1 and a red card is not a decimation.
Decimated. That wasn't even a contest. And then Arsenal, Liverpool. We go there. We were in the game from the start to the finish. Like, I thought it was a great game. For a neutral, anyway, it was a...
Yeah, look, if I was a neutral, I probably would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've got to say, the crowd was good at the Emirates as well.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from some Liverpool.
Moments, I thought.
Yeah,
some moments, it said like you could have heard a pin drop.
Oh, I think there was tension in there, obviously.
Oh, definitely tension.
Because,
but like I've seen that at Anfield before as well. When
because,
things aren't going right, it just goes dead quiet. So.
Well, for us too, like this is the first time where like, we were on top against you guys. So it's like we're on top for a period and then you obviously come back for a bit and then the crowd, you could tell, were ebbing and flowing with that. But I thought they were immense, the crowd, for sure.
Yeah. For me, if I think about the game, if we were having a good season and that result happened, it'd still be disappointing, but it's just compounded by it just continually happening.
Yeah, well...
that's what really gives me the shits.
Yeah, well...
is that it just keeps on happening.
I can agree. I can see where you're coming from there. Let's get into it. Well, we scored in the first minute.
Yeah.
Banger, what did you say? Don't concede any goals in the first 15 minutes or something like that?
Try and build on some defensive fucking coming together, but that was just... And the worst thing was we conceded from us attacking.
Well, I had a point to make about that. I think I've been thinking about this, and our issue is definitely defensive, right? It's like we score.
100%.
Like I don't think we've been kept scoreless. We scored 2 against the league leaders.
Yep.
We beat Rangers midweek. Like we've smashed Bournemouth 9-0. Like 3 against Brighton. Like I don't think we've been kept scoreless in like any game, but we're just conceding silly goals. And I think part of it is because so much of our DNA from Klopp over the last 7 years has been attack. And I think I remember like for your first goal, we did the like everyone press, push forward. Jota almost
You almost threw. Saliba made a mistake.
Yeah. Jota almost cut the ball out and blocked the pass. And if he had it would have been like 4-on-3.
Well, even before that, Saliba lost that ball. Like, so he had the ball at the end. It was a mistake. He kicked it in. I forget who it was, but him being in the fucking top form that he is, just casually won that ball back like it never even happened. So he turned a mistake and then just regained the ball. And then because if he missed that, like if that mistake went, look, I think you guys were like
that's
3
what
on
I'm
2.
saying. And then it turned like that. But what frustrates me is that I really feel like, and even with your second goal, it came off another counter attack from a free kick that we won with like a minute left in the first half.
Yeah.
And this is our problem, is that because in our DNA is so attack, but because we're very fragile defensively now, I feel like we need to, it's hard for the players when they've played in that way for so long to suddenly turn around and go, let's just sit back for the first 10. But that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
They need to start a game and not do that press.
Yeah.
Like that for 10 minutes, they just need to sit in, stifle you guys and grow into the game. That's what good teams do.
Yeah.
We can't just, we're way too fragile right now to just be going at it like that. And that fucking second goal right on half time,
Killer.
like just go, pass it fucking backwards to the keeper, hang on to it for 30 seconds, go into the sheds 1-1,
Well, I think
away to the league leaders, and then talk about what you need to do to win the game.
You got to remember too that like clinically we're so much better clinically now too, and it's not like the old Arsenal where we probably could have had those 2 chances like last year and fluffed them. Like you give us the ball back and we countered like that. Like
the pace that you guys have, like Martinelli is just
like down that right, like that left hand side, it was mayhem. Down the right hand side, it was like Simicast was getting caught out of position all the time, probably because of what you just said. So far forward, and then you're facing Saka and Martinelli who have pace to just ample amount of pace to just carve you apart. I mean, and then but then it comes back to the want and desire for us too. Like, I don't know if you've noticed who the third player in the box was for that second goal. That was Gabriel, our centre back. He ran the length of the pitch, and like you're thinking, what's this guy doing? Obviously, he's made the mistake. So for that your first goal, the equaliser, I feel like that was his mistake. I also, you're probably going to roast me for this, but Nunes was offside. He was offside and you can't say that he didn't like draw a defender in because Gabriel was the one marking him. He was like, are you talking in the build-up when the ball was played through? So the first ball over the top that Gabriel like fluffed, Nunes was offside. Yeah, he was offside, but I don't think he was involved in the play. Yeah, but how can he not be involved in the play if he's drawn like the centre back to make that play? Like you can't have like an impact on the defence. Is that correct, or is that like? I guess it depends. It's totally down to interpretation. As if obviously they deemed him not to be. But for me, like if I'm man marking you and you drag me out of position, but you don't touch the ball, and I try and get the ball, you're offside. I feel like it's called passive. So it's like when you don't actually physically do anything, you leave it all up to the defender. Then it's allowed to play on. Yeah, fair enough. Whatever, but like I think when I saw that as well, I was like, finally we get the rub of the green. I was worried they were going to rule it out because I thought he's offside in the initial build-up, although he wasn't involved. I didn't. Yeah, I just thought because he dragged him. They could can it from that. Yeah, to be fair, Gabriel should have done better with that. Like, he kind of fluffed that, and then Saliba, unfortunately, oh my god. It's God unfortunately got the unfortunate through the legs. Like he could have deflected that, got anywhere. But our second goal, Gabriel was obviously trying to make up for it. He charged the length of the field, and it ended up being like good because he created that overload in the box. Like that's where like I think Alexander-Arnold gets pulled out of position because I think he genuinely thinks Martinelli's just going to skin Henderson and he's going to have to back him up kind of thing. Yeah. So he kind of back to that. So he kind of floats in and drags both of Martinelli drags both of them out, hits the ball across, and then Gabriel, I don't know how obviously you got a shout, but he's dummied that ball. I don't know if you've seen it. He like intentionally steps over it and it runs through to Saka goal. Like, I mean, as an Arsenal fan, you can't want much more than that. Like, oh yeah, you guys played really well. Look, as I said, if you're in neutral, it was a very entertaining game. Yeah. But yeah, just disappointing as a Liverpool fan. And then like on the two the Gabriel handball in the box. Yeah, I personally find them very harsh when they're given because I'm like, what's he meant to do there? Yeah, but his hand comes out and stops the ball, and they're given all the time. It's when you've got your arms down beside you. I'm a little bit more lenient. I don't like this whole. His arm was in a natural position. Yeah, because people don't fucking run around like a penguin. No, when you're trying to stop, like you've got your balance out. But if you're looking at it.
Like you can, I don't
Impacted
know.
the play.
Yeah, like
No.
it gets crossed, his arm comes up, stops it. Like that's normally given as a penalty.
Look, I would agree they're more often given than they're not, but I feel like the proximity that he was in with
Yes.
him, he had his hand on him, first of
Yeah.
all. Like, he had his hand on him, and if you look at Gabriel, if you look at Gabriel, he wasn't like, I would say if he looks at the ball and touches his arm, handball all day. The fact that his eyes were focused on like what the player in front of him was doing.
It comes back to the interpretation thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like because it
I
has
think-
to be a blatant handball, or is it? And I don't even know this fucking rule anymore because it seems to change
changes
every season.
fucking
Yeah.
season,
Is it has to be blatant and it's given, or is it if you ruin the other team's like attacking opportunity?
It was that like 2 seasons ago. They went really gun ho on it.
Yeah.
But the
Remember
fans
how
just blew up.
every handball, it's like even if it was,
I
doing
think
nothing,
it's- I
you
think
had the hand
one-
in front of your chest.
One,
Yeah.
it's proximity, and two, I feel like there was one given this week. I forget what game it was in, but his hand was above his head, right? So I'm deeming that's definitely an unnatural position. You don't like run with your hands in the air
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
He's asking a question.
Look,
So-
that's the thing. It would have been a harsh penalty against you, but not. It was like 50-50, I guess. It's one of
Yeah.
those things. It was 50-50. It went your way, but I do.
When I
think-
seen it, I was like, "Fuck, they could give this here."
Yeah.
I was genuinely concerned because I've seen him give
Yeah,
it.
exactly,
Because his hands
exactly.
out, and like I'm like, you can't give that because I just felt he was way. If he was, I reckon if you give him another half a meter, maybe even a meter off him, I think it's handball all day.
But see, my concern is, I reckon if that's outside the box, and this has always been a fucking
Yeah.
issue as well.
Well-
that's outside the
Yeah, it
box.
would have
That's
been a
given a
free
fucking
kick.
free kick
Yeah.
every single game.
Yeah.
And then that goes towards the penalty that we conceded. Once again, like that is the softest fucking touch ever.
Yeah, that was-
But it's
That's a
there
striker's
was-
penalty.
There was
man.
contact.
It's a
so
striker's
therefore,
penalty.
you know.
You can't tell me that like Nunez wouldn't do that if it was
But
the
it's-
other end.
Yeah,
It was the whole-
100%. But when it's against you, you're like,
Yeah, I
fuck you,
agree,
you
but-
dickhead.
And it says contact. He's still standing. Then the dive. You know what I mean? Which
I
is
think he
something I
lands on
fucking
his
hate.
feet and falls over as he lands on his feet. I don't
Two
think he
feet
like.
come flying out like he's been.
I don't
hacked
think
down.
he.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, mate. Any like Nunez would do the same
I
at the
agree
other
with
end.
you, but what I'm saying is when
It's
it
a
happens
blight.
to you and
Yeah,
it loses you a game, it's fucking shit.
Yes, I understand that, but that's a striker's penalty, and I don't think you can fucking have a crack at the way he goes down. Because it'd be different.
Okay.
It'd be different if he got hit and then like ran and then fell over. Like I get that.
I
He
guess
lands on his feet and then falls
The
over.
frustrating thing for me was all game he was doing that. He spent more time
Mate,
on
he
the
got
ground than he
battered.
did on.
He got
battered.
fucking
The only
battered.
the only thing that fucking battered him was the ground.
Oh,
At
please.
one point,
You like so-
at one
oh.
point, Odegaard was down, and the referee should have stopped because I think Odegaard might have. They feared he had a head injury,
Yeah.
and the ball was right there.
Kept going.
but he kept going, and then next minute. Jesus is down on the ground.
Yeah.
Firmino's like wildly signaling to like the
I
medical
know.
staff, come on. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, this is bad.
He got hit in the
what's
nose.
Jesus done? Fuck, this happened to him.
He got hit in the nose.
He
Like
fucking, and then he was whinging to the fourth official saying, why hasn't he got a card for that? He should, and he's fucking, man. I like
got
him
elbowed in the
normally,
head.
But he shitted.
He got
did not
elbowed in the
elbow.
head.
It was not an elbow.
he got elbowed in the head.
a
It's
finger,
a yellow
a finger
card.
brushed
To be
his
honest,
cheek.
that's a yellow.
A finger brushed his
off.
cheek.
And he hit him in the nose. He had
accidentally.
blood coming out of his
No, he
nose.
didn't.
Yes, he
There
did.
was no clarity.
You obviously went and got a cup of tea or something when that all happened because it must have been frustrating for you. But
Probably having
It
a
was.
coffee, getting ready for fucking
Very
work.
frustrating.
Then you have 2 fucking shit days.
The other
You
thing
had
I
shit
w-
sleep, your fucking team lost.
It just
Got to go to
compounds.
fucking work.
the one
You
other
have to do
thing
a
I want to
podcast.
ask is fucking Nunez. That celebration, tell me that's just like a signature celebration for him.
I don't know. 'cause
I
that
don't-
was- I did not like.
Like,
that.
what the
Two
fuck
things
is
about
that about?
I think it must be like an inside joke. Like maybe he's got a kid or something, and he's like, that,
Right.
because surely
The kid's
you
been
wouldn't-
keeping him awake. That's why he hasn't been scoring.
You
see.
wouldn't go to like Arsenal fans like cry more because like you've just it's an equaliser. It's not
That's
the
what I was
winner in the
thought- yeah, I was
95th.
like-
He might have been doing it to Salah. Like I've scored more goals than you.
I was seeing that and I was just like,
It must be an inside thing because who would do?
Yeah, like, and that's why I didn't message you, bloke, because I'm like, I'm not going to start like cracking on about
I wouldn't
him,
have
'cause,
fucking
like,
responded anyway.
Yeah, you would have, because I would have wound you that hard. You would have had no choice, mate.
You're not a very nice friend. There.
I confiscated Jake's phone at half time.
No, I'll just go walkabout. Just like see you boys in the week.
So yeah, the thing is, too, Odegaard could have got a goal before that, and I think he scored pretty much off the back of the play, that equaliser. That was a good goal by Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby, that's what I want to ask
Mate.
you boys, right? You guys struggling defensively, I understand.
Yep.
Virgil van Dijk, first of all, is just a shadow of what he was last
Lost
season.
his presence. That first goal, you just expect
See him
maybe to
back
stand up and.
Oh.
In seasons past, he comes up and dominates the ball, but
he let Saka run and run and run, and I'm like, mate, what are you? And I was like,
confidence is shot.
I was getting
is.
annoyed at that in the game. People kept on standing off. Henderson, like I know that you can't get so tight that they'll skin you, but you need to get tighter to him. If you give Martinelli 10 yards around him and jockey,
or concede it,
he's just
take a
gonna
card. You
fucking
know what I mean?
sprint down the
Take a card
sideline.
and just clatter him and be like, listen, you want to keep trying to do that, but like every time we got the ball, I kind of had confidence that we can. And that's
Do something.
I think that is like emanating throughout your squad, because I feel bad for Thiago Silva because that dude was beating our press for fun.
Yeah.
And he just had no one around him that was like, I don't know where, like Salah was gone.
Alcantara too.
Hey?
Wrong Thiago.
Oh, sorry, it's Thiago. I meant Thiago, but you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry. Who was playing in the midfield with him? Because I felt like
Henderson.
at points it was just him.
It was Thiago and Henderson. I don't know why. I would have started Thiago and Fabinho in that game.
Yeah.
Because Fabinho and Henderson, it's negligible who's in better form, and Fabinho's a better player.
Yeah.
I like Henderson as a player. I think he offers a lot, but I just feel like in that game, with two sitting midfielders, I would have
Especially-
started our best sitting midfielder.
Especially because the way Thiago was playing, as I said, he was just like, he's had like one touch, has beaten like people. He can get out of tight spaces.
Yeah.
I think Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka, because you guys played it was almost like four up the front, and you were overloading the midfield a lot. And I
Yeah.
think Partey was he played well. He was under the cosh there at points, and he managed to play his way out of it, which I was pretty happy with. Like, he had some loose passes, but I can't say anything bad towards him, because at points in there
gonna
he was
happen too.
he was owning that midfield single handedly. It was him and Thiago going at it.
Yeah.
So, but
I just think we really need to go back to.
I was going to say, do you need to go back to playing with Firmino? My question I have written here was, is Núñez the right sign? Was that the right signing for you guys to transform your team to start playing in a completely different style that you've played?
I'll tell you in 12 months, because I don't believe that you can judge.
I'm just asking you.
Well, that's what
I'm not.
saying.
I'm not asking about the. I'm not asking about the player. I'm asking about your team as a whole. Would it be
Different system.
Would it benefit you to go back to the old system? Because I think that's the reason why Salah's gone.
Salah's been pushed completely wide.
He's just a winger now, yeah.
He's gone
To be fair, I think we need to push him wider. Fucking not
on the
playing.
bench.
Who are you going to fucking play? You want a bench runner who doesn't have a good game?
Yeah, exactly.
So who are you going to play then?
Fuck it. Bring
I
up
want to
some
push him
21s.
a bit wide.
See how
It's
Hampton
like,
beat.
it's when you've got these fucking teams that have got two teams, your cities, your Barces and all that kind of shit. If you play shit continuously, you get fucking benched.
We can't. Who's going to fucking come in for him? We can't afford that.
Well, maybe
We don't
can.
have that.
Maybe we can. Maybe we can bring someone else in. They do a fucking better job because they'd actually play.
I honestly think it's not up. Salah's just trying to adapt, I think, to
Yeah.
a new play style, and he's not good at it. Maybe he's not an out and out winger.
You know what? You know what's very important? Perspective. Last year, we made it to 3 finals, won 2 of them, came second in the league and could have won. And then we won the Community Shield to start this year, and we were all full of hope and dreams. And then everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. This team,
But this has been a cancer since 10 games before the end of the season last year.
yeah, but what about last season? And this is what I'm saying.
what about last
Well, it was a
season?
good season. We did a lot. We won a couple of trophies. Could have won more.
That's right.
unfortunate
But that's
in
last season. I
situations.
think I understand what Jake's saying. That's
Yeah, but
last
what I'm
season.
saying is perspective is important. Are you going to write off Trent, Van Dijk,
Well, I'm saying this with Mo. 'Cause
Salah,
Mo came back from
because they
AFCON,
haven't
has done
had a
nothing
good-
since AFCON.
Yeah.
He's done nothing for 12 months.
He's been
That's not true. He's done stuff in 12 months.
Statistically speaking, it's been terrible.
Wasn't he joint golden boot last season?
Yep.
But that was from prior to AFCON.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. You're gonna write a player off because he hasn't had a good 20 games.
I would write him off in that system.
Yeah.
I think he was.
But it's like how long do you give a player that's on 350K a week?
But that's the other thing too.
I'd write him off if there was someone that could come in and play better than him, but there isn't.
He was null and void in that game, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
He's like your marquee signing, and he's done. I don't think he's done.
And
fuck
to be
all
fair,
for a long time.
it was a bit of a I'm going to say masterclass from Arteta. He played Tomiyasu come back from injury, not in right back, left Ben White there inverted and put him on the left to have a right-footed left back playing against a left-footed.
When he cuts in.
Yeah, for when he cuts in. So, like...
I don't know about masterclass. You needed a...
Mate, don't...
No, hang on. Let me speak.
You come in here, start bagging on Arsenal after you just beat...
You needed a soft dive penalty to beat a bang out of average Liverpool side at home.
A soft dive
not a
penalty.
masterclass.
I think if we don't get the penalty, we win anyway.
Doesn't mean you do.
See, that's the thing. Like, mate, you just got battered 3-1. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. What are you coming in this conversation with?
Except for Brighton.
You have one good start to a season in 5 years and you act like you're God's gift to football. Like Arsenal's this. Everyone should be praising you. Disagree.
Is it?
You're going on a masterclass.
It was a masterclass to play Tomiyasu at fucking left back instead of right back because he's a right-footed left back. You completely brushed over what I fucking said.
If you've beaten City...
No. You completely ignored what I said and you just made this out to be a little bit of a... I've just gone and like called Arteta a masterclass. It was a good... It was a masterclass to put him on that side because he completely shut Mohamed Salah out of the game. Mohamed Salah was not in the fucking game. He was not even in this game. You wouldn't even know he was on the pitch.
I think that Salah, it was more that Salah played terribly than Tomiyasu played him out of the game. And whilst I agree that it was like a good decision, the issue was Zinchenko was injured and Tierney's coming back from injury. So was his hand just forced into playing Tomiyasu?
No, Tierney was on the bench.
Yeah,
he's
coming
not
back
injured.
from injury.
No, he played a full 90 minutes the game before in Europa.
Yeah, because he's tired.
Mate, this is the thing. Like, you just don't want to put any respect on our name. Like,
hold on.
No, you just don't. You just come in here look, this is just talking shit.
I have respect for what you're doing, but like at the end of the day, we're 11 games in, you're doing well, but you haven't won anything yet.
I'm not saying that we've won anything, but no, like, you can't even tell us we're going to make the top 4. Mate, you're not going to make the top 4 at all.
Well, you're probably right.
You're gone.
That's predictions at the start of the year that maybe I got fucking horrifically wrong.
Yeah, but I asked you like 2 weeks ago and you're like, oh, no, I still think United are going to get there.
Yeah. I said United are still going to get there. I didn't say that Arsenal aren't.
And every week we have talked about how good Arsenal's performances are. It's just that masterclass comment where I was like, hang on. It's not a masterclass to beat Liverpool off that penalty in the form they're in. I don't think so.
As I just fucking said, you completely brushed over what I said. A masterclass to put Tomiyasu on that side. It's a good bit of thinking.
Yeah, it's a masterclass. If you'd shut down Haaland, that's a masterclass. Shutting down Salah in the form he's in, that's not a masterclass.
All right, mate, no worries.
Every other team's done it this season.
I'm just saying, like, whatever. It's like talking to a brick wall in here sometimes. Sometimes.
No, I thought I had valid responses.
Right. Like, to be fair, we talk up Arsenal every week because you guys are doing well, but I don't know what you want us to do. Like, we're discussing the game. I think that...
I'm just saying, he's just...
You didn't go and beat us 5-0 and we scored 2 goals and you won off a soft penalty.
I think, yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say.
We won off a soft penalty.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say,
Use it as fuel.
Who am I fueling against? That's the thing, though. Like, the team's fuel and they're firing on all cylinders. Like... That's the thing. We're the only people that can match City at the moment because we're the only ones that are pushing them. Like, there's a young team in form. Like, and my point is, like, Arsenal of old would have probably folded in that game and you would have won that game. Arsenal have, like, we now dig deep. And that's all down to what Arteta's done at that club.
Yeah.
He's installed a mentality.
But remember, like, they stuck with him. They didn't can it early. Like a lot of teams do. They stuck with a coach and his philosophy and backed him and now you're reaping the benefits.
Yes, we are.
Be nice to see other teams do the same, you know. You think how quickly Chelsea get rid of Lampard and, you know, teams this season have already got rid of managers.
Yeah.
It goes to show if you don't just fucking...
You stick it out. You got to stick it out.
Exactly.
Like, and like you look, Piers Morgan came out during the week and like after that game was like, I now back you, Arteta, after all that. I'm like, fuck off, mate. Come on. Like, you've got to. Like, I've backed Arteta from the start. I've said, like, he had his, like, at one point there, I wasn't sure what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't sure where it was going. But, like, at the start, especially the start of this season, like, clear direction, playing like we are, like top of the league.
And compared to like last season as well, like mind you, where you got off to a slow start because of the teams. I think you had City and Chelsea like back to back. It is, it's
Well, it's big for you guys next. You go up against City.
I'm so fucking scared.
it could be a fucking bloodbath, eh?
It's
Or it could be the game that turns your season around.
yeah, it's one of those two. Like as I don't know if anyone's seen Tim Sherwood like on
I try not to see
Match
Tim
Day
Sherwood.
Live. Well, it was funny because he was like talking up Arsenal. I said to my missus, I've got to give a shout out to my missus Paige because she predicted the score for Arsenal Liverpool, by the way.
Oh, did
3-2,
she?
yeah.
I'd say well done, Paige. mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was talking up Arsenal, and I was like, a pig's flying outside. Like, what's going on? And then he's like, he actually said like, I know I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, yeah, they're a really good team. And then they were talking about Liverpool going to City next week and about like what they can do for you. And the other guy was saying like it could be the one that turns their season around, and Sherwood was like, I'm not sure.
I don't think it
He's
will.
like, it could be. He's like, but they also could get battered 5-0. Like,
I don't think it's gonna be. Like,
I don't think
truly.
Klopp knows how to play very defensively. So
He's too like I don't know if it's stubborn or he's a one sort of way
Hopeful.
he plays, but it's even like when we got beat 5-1 by them and we had Mane sent off. This is what I was saying to you the other day when you lost to Arsenal and who'd Conte sub off, and I said, he's not going for the win, and you were like, no, I'm not saying he completely wasn't going for the win, but he knew he probably wasn't going to win. Let's not get done 6-1 and ruin our confidence. Whereas Klopp doesn't do that. He kept on going for it in that game against City when we were down to 10 and we got beat 5-0 or 5-1.
Well,
it's physically possible.
You say that on the weekend. Who'd he sub off? Mo Salah and someone for Kanate, and
Yeah, that was a really good call. I was like, thank you.
he subbed off, and Fabinho. He brought on. He took off. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was because Henderson went out to the right because Mo was gassed. Because
Mo was gassed?
we were pretty much playing a 4-4-2 in that game.
How was Mo gassed? He didn't really do much.
Well, okay, he didn't do much in a sense of...
I honestly think he hooked him, eh?
He didn't do much.
Yeah.
He could have hooked him.
I think he hooked
He
him.
could have hooked him, but in his press conference afterwards, he said that like Mo had done a shift and he put Henderson on to finish the shift on the right. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Whether
I mean,
or not
he
that
could be
was it or
protecting a
not.
player or not. Yeah.
Yeah. But
But
anyway,
yeah.
we've probably spoken enough about that.
Yeah, we probably should take a break and then come back. All right, we'll be back with the rest of the fixtures after this.
Yeah. All right. So we're back.
We are, and we're going to Brighton to talk
Oh,
about.
are we? Is that where we're going for the end of season trip?
We're going to
South
Brighton.
coast of England.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Seagulls, warm beer. See you there.
Let's-
South Coast or
Is
Brighton.
it right
Yeah.
down the bottom?
I don't think it's.
I don't know, eh?
East.
I don't know,
Pretty good at
yeah.
geography.
All right, Beef.
Brighton's pretty
Tell
far
us.
All
south,
right,
though.
so
us
let's
all
fly
about
down
Definitely
to
south, but I don't know if it's
Southeast.
South Coast.
Southeast.
I was check Google Maps before we go to the game.
Yeah, we can talk about the game and I'll get back to
All
it.
right, so Brighton 0, Tottenham 1. So we said in last week's potty after losing to Arsenal, huge game for us, and
Getting
it really
battered by
was.
Arsenal.
Feeling better now?
So
Ethan, you're completely correct, mate. Well done.
yeah, mate. Has everyone seen this meme where it's like watching English football or watching any football makes you really good at geography?
Fucking
Yeah.
hell,
Because
yeah.
literally,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
never have known that.
Yeah, true. So true.
So yeah, huge win for us. The first reason is because
Huge win? Would you say huge win?
Hang on, let him talk. 'cause
super emotional game. Yeah.
It's got.
It was an emotional
It's got an emotion. There's some. Yeah, I'll
Yes.
give this.
So
Oh,
our
It's all right, Beef,
fitness
get it in.
coach died of leukemia 2 days before the game. So Conte's like closest mate or one of his closest staff. There's photos of him together in every club he's been at. So massively emotional. So much outpour of emotion from the players. So he must have been one of those blokes around
Well
camp
liked.
that just has a really big impact.
Yeah.
He was pretty. He looked like an older fellow, was he?
62 or something?
Yeah,
He
right.
wasn't too old.
Strange for a fitness coach to be like
Yeah.
that old,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like obviously he's passed on like wisdom,
Yeah.
beyond fitness to
Yeah.
them for them to
Run
have-
and
to-
doesn't
for-
have to run.
for them to have such like an emotional connection to him.
Yeah, so Gian Piero, or Pierre, rest in peace. Okay, so 1-0 win, early goal by Kane, but I think the point to talk about is that I didn't think we could get any more defensive, and we did. We started with 9 defenders,
What?
including
Wow.
Maurice. So
How?
8 defenders. So Richarlison didn't play.
Yeah.
Kulu's injured. So
Yep.
we played 5 defensive
So
midfielders.
he's gone
so wing
Southgate
backs and
just
3 defensive midfielders.
defenders in.
It was outrageous.
Really?
Outrageous. So Richarlison out, Basuma in, who played extremely defensive. So no attacking midfield. We just had Kane and Son up
Fucking
top. So we
hell.
played 2 up top. It must have just been
The
Surely,
rest behind the
surely
ball.
your wing backs were like almost playing as wingers.
bombing
though.
on. Not really. Sessegnon did. Doherty.
Big bad Brighton, eh?
Doherty's been average. He killed it at Wolves, but he's been pretty average for us. But
First playing with the Portuguese.
it was a really good defensive away win. We scored early, and then Dyer was just directing the whole defence around the whole game. He's
So
changed
are
since
you
his England
Tottenham
call
or
up.
Burnley.
I know, mate. I'm what's that word when you're like torn? Because
Torn.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
a win's a win, but like, surely you don't like
Are you
watching
going to win
your.
the Premier League playing with 9 fucking?
No, like,
defenders?
surely you don't get up at like 1:30 in the morning and be like, "Fuck yeah, that was a mad game to watch." kind
yeah,
of thing.
I'll be honest, and I'm probably all Spurs fans or a lot will share the same sentiment, but it's not great because. But to be fair, we tried the all-out attack with Poch, and we didn't fucking win anything. We tried it for 5 years in a row.
You know what?
We were the youngest team in the
gonna
league.
say.
We attacked, and we got nothing for it. So if he can come, you can't.
I was
go
going to
and
say,
sign a
Conte's
champion.
proven to win.
Exactly. You can't sign a champion coach and then expect him to change his shape.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
just a shame that we got him and not Pep or
But
Klopp.
you know what? At the same time, as like awesome as attacking football is under Klopp and like the Gengen press and like go, like really, you want to see your football team win.
Yeah.
So if they play defensive and shabby, but they win 1-0 every week and win the league, you're going to be happy.
My
Like,
thing is
neutrals
right.
might not like
yeah,
it,
my thing
but-
is right. If you play like that for an entire season and you get like 4th and you don't win a cup or anything like
Yeah.
that, it's kind of like
Exactly.
fuck me.
Yeah.
Like
That was
what are we
horrible.
doing?
Great point.
Where is he when he went to Chelsea? They won the league kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like if you win something at the end of it, you'd be like, whatever. We play that shit football. We broke the drought. It's all done. Like
Yeah.
don't care.
Totally.
That must be hard for
It's-
Spurs'
yeah, I was gonna-
identity though, because they're known as like entertainers.
Exactly.
Well, under Poch they were. Yeah, like Poch
But even
created that
previous that-
identity.
Even
Really,
Yeah,
previous,
previous-
that, like
previous.
Spurs forever, like entertainers, and now
Yeah, known for neutrals to come.
I'm
up
talking
around.
about like
Yeah.
entertainers that can also play football. Like before, I feel like before Poch, like Tottenham were like not
average for a decade.
Like
we were.
I'm just
Well, I
talking
guess,
about.
yeah, how
I'm talking
far
about
back
like
do we go?
I'm
Yeah.
talking about like attacking football that's like
Yeah.
up the top of the league, kind of like pushing.
In
You know
the
what I mean?
'90s, they were they had Klinsmann and Sheringham, and like they were like a very
Big time. And I think
attacking team.
the thing
known
that
for it.
helps me sleep at night is that if you ask any Spurs fan, what's the most important thing for Tottenham? It's winning a trophy.
Yeah.
So to get that monkey off our back, we need to try different styles, which I'm happy we are. We just need to win one thing. Hopefully it's the Prem, and then expand back to the football that people like Spurs for, because it's a double-edged sword.
I was going to say, like, does that mean you win and then sack Conte? Because I don't know if Conte can play like full-on, free-flowing attacking football.
If we win the Premier League, I wouldn't mind if he left, to be honest. I'm serious.
fucking nutter, eh?
Fucking classic.
I'm serious. But,
He doesn't stay
I mean, to be
around for
fair, he
long.
doesn't. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's
3-4
why.
years and he buggers off.
Maybe that's why. Because
I think he's intense. I think
he
he's
was-
so
yeah.
fucking
We
intense.
can tell by the way he
People are like,
talks, man.
Can you stop, Antonio?
Yeah.
Just,
The
I
way
need
he
a
talks at
pizza
press
and a
conferences,
cigarette.
and you just like you
No,
feel like
no.
he's like just thinking so hard about everything he says, and you're just like, fuck, it'd
He
be hard to like.
tried to kill Thomas Tuchel because he didn't look at him or something. Like,
see,
Called him many
know it's the
favours,
right
got him
thing.
sacked.
It's just my date was clenched from the 22nd minute to the 90th.
I was going to say because in the highlights,
man.
Brighton had like Danny Welbeck should have scored twice. I think like he
Yeah.
had some good like
It was
shots
just,
on
those
target.
games where you're literally just sitting up and you're like, oh, man.
Yeah, that's
it
the
was
problem.
that.
But that's
So-
the other problem playing that football, bro. Like you go ahead and then you got to sit in for like 70 minutes and just
Yeah.
fucking hope for the best.
So you
So
wanted to bring
sometimes-
on Richarlison and that to get
Nah,
a 2-0
but he's
win,
not
but he
going
doesn't
to.
because
Yeah,
he
I
knows
know.
that's what's won him trophies.
But you don't want him to bring on Richarlison.
It's just
you know
more
who
defenders.
you should sign? And I'm not. This isn't a piss.
Player or coach?
No, this isn't a piss take. This is completely honest. You know who you should sign?
Haaland?
No, Harry. Well, yeah. I
For
mean,
900,000 a week or whatever. I reckon.
anyone should sign Haaland. No,
He asked, but we don't really suit him. That's fine.
Harry Maguire
Harry Maguire.
because
In a
he
back
would
three.
love playing
that's
for
his-
you guys.
Oh,
That's
fuck
his-
yeah.
If he had 3 sitting midfielders in front
gonna
of him
say, yeah.
and just didn't have to leave his 18-yard box, just had to use that big slab to hit the ball out and tackle people, he would fucking love it. And you know what? He would look like he did at Leicester and he would
But I mean-
be amazing.
He'd
But
look
yeah,
like
he would
80
be-
million fucking pounds.
We've been in enough pain. Why are you trying to?
You're right. No,
put
you're
trouble
right.
on
though.
him?
Because he would suit how you're playing.
Yeah, I reckon he's 100% right. Like, he would fit straight in there. I would replace Dyer with fucking
Dyer's
Harry
been
Maguire.
great, mate.
Dyer's been dire.
Yeah.
No, he's got a call back in the England squad. He was
Oh, that
Yeah,
means
that
Southgate.
means nothing.
for his confidence. It has. He
Southgate keeps on calling up Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. And
Southgate just wants to take fullbacks.
he
Maybe
bossed the backs
Southgate
around.
could
He
fucking
played
coach
well.
Tottenham.
Imagine that, Southgate from England to Tottenham.
It's a stressful time. But
Anyway,
we're
you've got the
third.
win. You got the win.
I hope that we push through this, and then we become more attacking later in the season.
He's hanging up the top. So that's
you're
all. I
hanging
guess
up
that's
there.
all you can ask for is like just keep winning. I guess like
keep winning.
if you have to play that football to keep winning, you just
You
keep
know what?
winning.
Exactly. No Spurs fan would say they like the football we play, but they would
no,
say the most important thing is a trophy. So if it gets
Better
us one,
result than us.
Yeah.
well, that's what I was going to say. Like,
it gets the whole hoodoo gone. Oh, Spurs fucking can't win a trophy for 100 years.
if Klopp pulled a
Gone.
Conte for the next 10 games and got 8 wins and 2 draws and they were all boring, but it shot us up the
Fuck.
table,
Yeah,
I
you get-
wouldn't be complaining.
Well, you build momentum.
yeah, exactly.
The only problem is playing football like that is like you build momentum in a different way. Like you don't start playing like more extravagant
Yeah.
football kind of thing. It's like, all right, we're winning.
Hey,
we
I'd
just
throw that in the fucking bin. Just don't concede.
sit. Yeah. Well,
I'd be happy with a fucking 0-0 draw, mate.
yeah. Well,
Because then we haven't conceded a fucking
I'd
goal.
be stoked if you can go to fucking City and get a 0 draw. Are you
Yeah.
going? Are you going to City or are they coming to you?
They're coming to
They're
us.
coming to us, even better.
So that's-
I hope
that's-
you beat
that's
them.
one-
I'd love for you.
That is
I'm going
one-
for Liverpool next
Thanks,
week.
mate. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, you heard
Shit,
it.
son.
Can I say something? Right, you probably think I'm getting more worked up about like the Liverpool game than the Tottenham game, right? You feel that? Like,
No, not really.
No, no, no.
Well, I feel like I was a bit more worked up because beating Tottenham, yeah, winning the North London derby is awesome, but it's not like we haven't done it before.
you haven't beat Liverpool in
These guys have had it over us
Yeah.
for so long, and to like
I get that.
win,
Yeah.
that was I just wanted to
Nah, man, it's
make mention of that before we moved on.
it's emotion though. It's
Yeah,
like,
like-
what football does. Like,
Now,
I'm
if
fucking
we can
fuming.
go and do that at Anfield, that's all my point I was getting to. The next step is doing that away at Anfield at
Yeah.
the Etihad. kind
Well,
of thing.
hobefully by that time we've seesawed
Surely you've
a
got to
little
work
bit.
it out. Surely he's got to work it
Look,
out.
Yeah.
the team is too full of quality
Yeah.
to not work it out eventually.
Something's gonna-
It's just going to be.
It's just taking.
It's only
longer than we
the only problem
expected.
is you've fallen. We're back on Liverpool.
I was thinking that. That's why I looked at you. But you hadn't finished.
Well, he's
talking about your
hanging.
beloved.
He's hanging up the top with us.
I'm done. What was my? Look,
What's
I'm
your
happy.
closing
I'm
statement?
happy, but I could be a lot happier because for someone like me that watches every minute, it's not just about winning. I want to enjoy my Spurs life, and
Yeah.
it's hard at the moment because
That's
tense
Yeah.
the whole game.
To bring it back to Liverpool
Spare
again.
thought.
I didn't
is-
hear that, but I'll really watch. I'll watch
This
it.
is what I was trying to say before, and I said it before the para final. Our good mate Smitty, he
Don't
sent
wanna
you
know
his,
about that
his
either.
itinerary of everything that he was doing that day because
Yeah.
he said he wanted to make the day an experience.
Yeah.
And Klopp said this before. And people can laugh and go, "Oh, what a wanker, you lost," but it's about the fucking journey.
It is.
If all you base your enjoyment out of sport is winning at the end and then doing it again, like that's great, but slow down a bit. And
That's
enjoy
the cherry-
ride.
that's the cherry
Life-
on top.
Life is about the journey, all right? It's
like
not
the
about the end
fucking cherry.
destination.
You
'cause
like a lot of cherries.
the end
aren't they?
destination is death, so you don't want to rush there.
Where are we going with this?
And I'm just saying, enjoy the journey.
And that's Big's fun football facts for this week.
Enjoy the journey.
Always look on
If
the
you take one thing from today, you need to enjoy the
will
journey.
die.
leave it. It's all right. It's all right. It's already dead.
Don't take anything from him. You're all going to die.
What is happening to this show?
Enjoy the journey.
All right, let's go to
Journey over.
United. We've got to talk a bit about United because Ronaldo, much
700th
maligned
goal.
figure now in the United ranks by Ten Hag. Didn't get to play last week at all. This week comes off the bench. Well, only because of an injury, really.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is,
he wouldn't have played otherwise.
No, he's crazy to me. Comes on, scores his 700th goal. I mean, you got to take your hat off to the fella. Like,
Oh, definitely.
I'm going to keep mine on, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
It's a
And-
massive achievement, but to achieve it like that, just being brought on, Like, it's
I think
sad.
that says more though for him. You know what I mean? It's like, look, you can do what you want to me. I'm still going to come on and I'm still going to score goals. I'm still Ronaldo. Like, you can't stop that.
I think
I really want to know what the celebration was about. You know how he like ran to the corner and just took a breath and like closed his eyes. It was
just taking it in. Probably enjoying the journey.
Well, Anthony come up and did it with him too, and then like it was like some kind of inside joke. But yeah, I found it strange. There's a stat here that I wanted to get up that Zach brought up just to like say how good Ronaldo is, and it's a pretty good stat.
Yeah.
So the stat is if Ronaldo never scores again and Haaland also plays till he's 38 years old, he'll need 43 goals over the next 43 goals a season over the next 16 years to level Cristiano Ronaldo's total.
And
that's immense.
And this is what we're saying, that no one can, like, I know I've bashed Ronaldo a bit.
You can't.
I'm not bashing his career. Or when we said, is Messi done? We're not bashing Messi's career or Ronaldo's career. We're just saying they're in the twilight of it.
Yeah.
And are they still the best? I still don't think Ronaldo's great for Man United. I don't think it was a smart signing.
No.
But you could definitely appreciate what a career he's had and the fact that he can still do it at 38 in the Premier League. Like,
Exactly right, yeah.
It is hats off to him.
Like seeing both of them, you know, him and Messi playing in El Clasico, like, fuck.
Yeah.
That'll never be beaten, I don't.
No, that's almost the height
They're
of
saying
football,
that
wasn't it?
Mbappe and Haaland are that'll be the next thing. I'm sorry, but until Mbappe leaves PSG and actually goes and tries something somewhere where there's some competition,
Yeah, we have to fight.
it's not
to
a
get into-
comparison. I know he's a good player, but it's not a
Versus
comparison.
Stoke.
No, I couldn't, to be honest.
Fucking Tuesday night, you know?
But yeah, so that was really good for Ronaldo, really good for Manchester United, not so great for Everton.
They'll be disappointed. They have been a lot better lately. They were
They
1-0
started
up.
that game like they scored in the
1-0 up.
first 5 minutes.
Screamer from Iwobi.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Once a gooner, mate. Once a gooner.
I was just very grateful because now they're below us.
Yeah, right.
Everton. Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, oh, shit. And then when they went up 1-0, I'm like, oh, fuck.
The other thing with that goal from United too was Casemiro to Ronaldo.
Well, yeah,
Casemiro
Casemiro
lost the ball, won the ball back, and then played that pass like a Real Madrid days.
Because he's class.
It was
Fucking class. But don't play him.
And well, to be fair, he wasn't going crash hot. I don't think to start off with. He kind of warmed into that game. So
And he lost the ball that Iwobi scored from.
yeah,
Yeah,
lost
but what
the
I'm
ball
saying
midfield.
is it's like fucking class is constant, you know? Like,
Yeah, he can still make it back in a game.
he's going to have some time. You don't just
Yeah.
sub him on and
Oh,
expect him to do
That's
everything.
true. That's very true.
I don't know. I feel like United just get swindled with. Oh, they hear the name and they're like, "Ooh!" It'd be like if someone's like, "Hey, United, do you want to sign Beckham?" And they're like, "Yeah," and then they sign
but
and they
Beckham
pay
now.
100 million for him, and he trundles in on crutches, and they're like, "Oh, that's all right, we'll start him." Like they
Yeah.
just get swindled all the time for these old players with a
Well,
name.
that's their own fault for going in for
yeah.
their players. You know what I mean?
We'll pay $10 million extra. We
I
didn't
guess-
ask for it, and we'll pay it.
We'll go through the other fixtures real quick. Bournemouth 2, Leicester 1. Brendan Rodgers, got to go.
How's he still in?
I don't know.
It's podcast
I don't know.
11. What's he doing?
I don't know. Yeah, like it's like I said it. I say it every week. Gary O'Neill is doing a great job
Well, yeah,
at Bournemouth.
He is. How do they got? I said when we trounced them 9-0, they need to forget about it because that's not the game
Well,
that's
they're
going to
above
do
us.
anything with their season.
Like,
and now they're
how
above
do
us.
we tell people that don't follow it that we beat
Yeah,
them
I see
9-0 and now they're above
nothing.
us on the fucking ladder?
Yeah, I know.
Premier League football, mate.
That's why we love the game, Jake.
How good sport.
Chelsea
When there's a
th-
W in front of it.
Chelsea 3, Wolves 0. Good win for Graham Potter over there at Chelsea.
coming.
He's coming.
They're looking real good.
They are, aren't they? They
Up against
Unfortunately.
fucking trash Wolves.
they are up against trash Wolves, and I said if Wolves throw an interim coach in there, it's not going to be no good for him. You can't. You can't do that. It never works for you. It never is.
Chelsea had a good win in the Champions League too. They beat AC
AC
Milan.
Milan.
Yeah, they did.
3-0.
Yep.
And
Wow. Very
AC
good.
Milan, I know, you know.
No slouch. No.
No,
They
no
just
slouch,
beat Juve,
so-
yeah.
Man City 4, Southampton 0. We can't say we didn't see that one coming. Phil Foden, good shout, Beef, start of the season. Phil Foden is in career best form at the moment.
A few of the
Unfortunately.
pundits said, like, when he was 17, 18, just coming on the scene, they're like, this is the next best English player.
Yeah, but I also heard some say that he was like bang average. Like, why is he?
Well, he's
kinda
obviously
playing?
not bang average.
Yeah,
No,
they
that's
obviously got that
exactly
one.
I mean, he's very lucky to play in the team that he plays in, but
Yeah.
someone was saying that like he's got the skills to
He's silky, isn't he?
to be as good as De Bruyne, but score more goals because he gets further forward than De Bruyne does, and he
Yeah.
does, and he's got a finish on him.
Oh man, it's
And
hard. I don't
and
like
to be
praising
fair,
them, but
like
it's-
the fact that we're talking
good.
about him over Haaland, really, like that's
Well, Haaland
pretty,
only scored one. Come
pretty
on.
good. Like he should have
He
scored
had a
two.
60-minute goal
Did-
drought. To see that?
Yeah.
60-minute goal.
The third
drought.
one's
That's
like-
ridiculous. Did you see the one? I can't believe that one hit the inside of the post and come
Oh
out.
man, that
yeah.
rocketed off.
But yeah, nah, Phil Foden doing good.
It's
Hopefully.
unfair. Honestly, I've said it
Oh,
before.
no,
Manchester
it's
City unfair.
Shocking, isn't it? That's
Well,
what
it
I
is.
said.
It is unfair.
Well, but like-
it's called breaking FIFA fair play
Yeah, but to be
regulations.
brutally honest, like, how is it fair?
Well, there's a new one come up this week. I know you heard about it. They've got some betting company, right?
Oh, the betting companies run football, man.
And it's like they only have one. What do you call it?
Sponsor?
No, well, they only have like one client, which is City. And it's like they're saying they're from like fucking Turkey or something. like that.
Heaps of
But
the
they've only got fucking monies coming in from like Middle East.
heaps of the betting sponsors on that you see on English jerseys are Chinese betting companies,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah, right.
and they get rebranded as English betting companies, but they're all Chinese.
I tell you what, you know
and
what
this
they
is
need
a
to do?
Illuminati conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone knows insurance companies run the world.
Yeah.
Betting companies run football. I'm telling you now.
Well, you know what they need to do? They need to get rid of betting as much as they can from like.
They won't, man.
Oh,
You
I
can't.
know that
Too
they
much
won't.
money.
The
but,
revenue's too high. Oh my
look,
god, I've got a
betting
frog in
company.
my throat.
I mean,
Betting company,
insurance.
Bennett Property. Yeah,
Insurance.
100% betting company.
Can we say that?
Yeah, I did. All right, moving on. Newcastle 5, Brentford 1. That's,
Very good Newcastle.
yeah.
Yeah, I
they're a
thought
nice,
that
they're a nice
Brentford-
team to watch.
I
Newcastle.
thought that Brentford would have done better there.
Yeah,
You look at Newcastle though; they were very, very unlucky with the way they handled the game against Liverpool,
yeah.
and that's their loss. They've
Yeah.
come up against City, 3-all.
3-3, that's right, yeah. No, Newcastle,
smoky, eh?
they're a fun team to watch too.
They
I
are,
love
yeah.
Isaac, their striker.
Yep.
Gamerish scored 2 really nice goals.
Yeah, he's
goals.
That
quality.
first one was an absolute cracker.
Almiron's a good player.
Almiron, yeah, he's
In
just
your
your
fantasy.
class forward. They're building a good side, and obviously now they got the
Little
money.
sneaky.
They got the money to match it.
Yeah,
Trippier,
just a little bit of money.
Trippier's in career best form. Some would say his delivery is sensational.
I wonder if Newcastle will end up being as despised as City are if they're just going to.
I don't think they can be because they have too much of a history.
Yeah, 'cause
Newcastle,
they actually have a history.
Yeah.
they're you know what I mean. I think because someone just come in and bought City and took them from a championship side to competing.
I still remember though when they first beat United, and I was like, yeah,
I didn't mind it.
I
when
mean,
they
look,
did that in the
to
day.
be
because we were in Woodwork.
remember, just remember that when they're doing us and they're the new City, we're all going to hate them. So
Whoever has success is hated.
Yeah.
yeah.
Liverpool were hated in the
It's success
80s.
from
United were
but I'm
hated
talking
in the
about
90s.
I'm talking about success from pure oil
the
money.
2000s and the 2010s,
Like just
20.
I'm pretty sure Saudi Arabia own Newcastle.
Oh, it is.
They own
It's-
the world.
I think
It's
that, or
oil.
the UAE, it's the entire country's
it's Saudi Arabia.
wealth.
A
Pretty
cynical
much fine.
person would say that it's sport washing at its finest.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
The cynics out there.
Crystal Palace 2, Leeds United 1. That's an expected win for Crystal Palace in my view. At home,
Too
Yep.
good, yeah.
they're the games that they should be winning. Leeds would be dwelling now, wouldn't they? They'd be
They got off to a.
Ethan's having a look at
14th.
14th, yeah, not crash hot.
They got a couple of wins in a row though to kind of skew everything.
But they're
Yeah,
ahead of Palace. That's
they started.
surprising.
Yeah,
That is
right.
After a win. Palace are on 9.
We
Leeds
did
are
say
on
this
10.
last week. Remember though, Palace have played City. They've played you guys.
Yeah, they've
They played us. They played
Yeah.
Arsenal. So they're rough shots out of the way.
Didn't they play
this is
Chelsea
where they're
the
going to
other
start
week
picking
too
up.
as well? Yeah.
This is
Gallagher
where
scored.
they're going to start picking up their wins that they need to. So
Yeah.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to beat those lower teams.
yeah,
and
because
then
you know
just try and
sometimes
get a
you
result
can't. Yeah.
against some of the big
Yeah.
teams, and you finish
You play within your table.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
Last game of the round was this morning. Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 1.
just typically average.
Yeah, again,
Not much doing.
That's a Midlands derby too, I believe.
it is.
Yeah.
You're right.
It gets Forest off the bottom, though.
Gets Forest off the bottom. I don't think it
Wow.
helps Stevie G at all, though. In my opinion,
Well, who's going to go first, him or Rogers?
You'd have
Oh,
to
surely
go
Rodgers goes
Has to be.
first.
Has to be Rodgers.
surely Rodgers goes
Depends
first.
on the owners.
But as I said, I
It's
mean,
not
I
gonna be
guess
Rodgers.
I guess there's some managers floating around now, but not
Yeah, who? Yeah.
like Tuchel's obviously not going to go to Aston Villa or Leicester.
Well, for the right amount of cash.
Yeah, I don't think
there was
either
talks-
of them have enough money. I said this last week or the week before. Leicester, I'm telling you, have got no money.
Yeah,
I
they're
reckon.
spiralling.
I reckon it's all downhill for Leicester. They'll be Rodgers will be out, then Leicester will be out. Madison will be gone. They'll all go in January.
Well, yeah, like if that
January will be
happens to him, that's a
mass
worry.
exodus.
January
worry.
will be a massive transfer window, I reckon, with the World Cup. I think
Yeah.
I think players will move
I
like
agree.
you've never seen before in January, like filling in injuries, getting like restarting seasons, all that shit. I think it's going to be massive. So
Yep. Yeah, there's already been big talks in the transfer market about that.
yeah,
Yeah, well, we keep on getting linked with Jude Bellingham.
Please.
Like heavily.
yeah, right.
Yeah, which would be fantastic.
Was that
for
a
me to
Mo
play.
Salah replacement?
No, he's a centre mid.
Oh, I thought he was a winger for some reason.
No, he's a centre mid.
Yeah.
He can't play there, though.
We have
Yeah.
an aging squad.
You know, the thing I think people need to start looking at now is versatility. I think players
Yeah,
are no longer going to be. This is what I think will happen. I don't think.
We've been playing fucking with Milner. Like,
I
I think
think-
a season in
Yeah.
I think for you to be, you either have to be an absolute world class like Erling Haaland, stapled on number 9, like that's your position and you own it every week. And if you're not one of those players, you have to be able to play well in a multitude of positions. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the way that football's moving, because the way that teams change formations, they swap sides. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that's going to have to
Yep.
happen in the future if you want to get
I'm with
signed.
you, man. Totally.
One game that we forgot to mention there was West Ham beat Fulham
Oh,
3-1.
fuck, sorry.
Surprising.
Yeah, very surprising. 'cause
Mitrovic out though. The goals have fallen away for Fulham.
They
Lost
have,
2 on
haven't
the
they?
trot.
Yeah,
Yep.
they've
2
struggled
games
to
he's
score.
been out, they've lost.
Yeah,
and West Ham
that's-
are turning it around. So
That's their second in a row, I think.
the Irons out there will be happy because they were pretty.
They've been bang
well,
average,
yeah.
that's for sure.
Maybe they can help us.
2 wins, though. Good for them. We'll quickly go through fantasy, boys, before we get into next week's fixtures. Who wants to
I'll
go
go.
first? Bfos, go.
62 total.
Oh, nice, mate.
It's all right. Cancelo got me 18. That was a great trade.
Yeah, I can't believe I got
signing
rid of him
TAA
earlier.
out for him. Disappointing is Reece James. Since I bought him in, he got like 0, 1,
Yes.
2, 1. And he's really dear. So I'm going
Would
to ditch
agree.
him this week. I don't know who I'm going to bring in yet, but yeah, ditching him.
Nice. Figos, how'd you go, mate?
I only got 34.
Now, you had a bit of a struggle with a wild card, didn't you?
Yeah. I took my chance on Liverpool getting a result against Arsenal, and they didn't. And got a few injuries there. They got now got It's been a fucking great week.
Well, the good news is at the World Cup, you get free transfers, as I've said before, so you'll be able to rejig it.
I think Liverpool not just hanging on for that World Cup. We just need to be there or thereabouts, and then just have a reset.
Yeah, 100%.
Haaland top scored for me as captain. He's just my captain.
Yeah, I know
constantly
you
now
can't
'cause,
you can't take
yeah,
him off, really, can you? Because you know he's going to bang a goal.
He's at least going to score a goal.
Yeah.
and get you 12.
Yeah, exactly right.
You know, so yeah, it wasn't great for me.
Nice, mate. I got 58. I got Haaland with captain. 12. Foden had 11. KDB had 6. All the City players have been just scoring like
yeah.
wildfire. Trippier. I brought Trippier in during the week, which is a godsend. He scored 7 for me with that assist. Trent's got to go. Trent scored me 0. He's now injured. He's so expensive, but my problem is that I want Cancelo, but I've already got 3 City players, so I'm going to have to work out what I can do there. But yeah, Trent's got to go and someone's got to come in for him. But how'd you go, Jenga?
I got 80.
80. Whoa.
Successful wild card.
You click
I
the button.
wasn't saying. I'm just stating a fact.
Why did you look at me after you stated your fucking
Because
fact?
I knew you were going to fucking look at me. with them
Oh, the
eyes,
Liverpool
eh?
boys are in turmoil. There's infighting. There's everything. It's great.
It was very strange to captain Haaland and him not to be the top scorer, but yeah, Cancelo with 18, and then
Cancelo with
Sanchez.
18. Fuck you.
And then Sanchez and fucking Dunk did nothing for the Brighton boys.
Dunk.
You got to get rid of Dunk.
He almost
What's
scored.
that
To be
doing?
fair, Dunk almost scored.
Yeah,
He's been
and
not
then, and then
bad.
what are we gonna say?
We'll see next week, Mark.
And he gets like fucking 7 points or some shit. It's heaps better.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and wrap it up with next week's fixtures.
Oh, are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording, mate. All right, next week's fixtures, we got start kicking off early Saturday morning, 6 a.m. Nice little time slot for your brekkie watching. Brentford versus Brighton. Not the greatest game, but I guess Brighton have been playing pretty good, so it'd be good to see them go.
too before getting thrashed.
Brentford are
by
very, very hot and cold, so it all depends on what Brentford and what Ivan Toney turns up, I guess.
Well, he did score on the weekend.
He did score, that's right. He scored a pen?
Yeah.
Was it a pen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Leicester versus Crystal Palace.
I think it'll be a Crystal Palace win and a Brendan Rodgers sacking.
Oh, I like it. That's
Big
nice.
calls.
That's a big call.
Losing at home.
It's got to be. If they lose there, surely he's got to go.
I kept saying get to 10, and then you can kind of base
Well, you did say that, yeah.
everything off 10, and
Yeah.
that's when you can be like, hey,
Yeah.
we're giving you 10 games.
Well, I
Fuck
guess we
off,
all
mate.
say that after
We
10
tried.
games. He's got to go.
Can you believe Leicester won 4-0 last week?
I know, that's the thing, right? Like they come out and do that.
Anomaly. And
Yeah.
now they're back to pathetic.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Is that just like a weird little
Be interesting to see if they can bounce something or
No, I think Crystal Palace are too good. Like, as I said, like Crystal Palace have got through their hard fixtures. These are the ones that they've probably been eyeing off for the last 10 weeks. It's been like, we got to win these.
Yeah.
Fulham versus Bournemouth. Good clash, I reckon, because Fulham probably still without Mitrovic. I think he's out for a while, to be honest.
Bournemouth on a roll.
Bournemouth on a bit of a roll. I mean, Philip Billing, that guy can score some goals, eh?
He can.
Is he a
They're
back?
always good.
Nah, he's a midfielder, I'm pretty sure. But like he's hit some worldies. Like the one he scored on the weekend, he just like I think he like popped it up and like hit it on the volley. Like
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
it was pure sauce.
Raw sauce.
Raw sauce. Wolves versus oh, this is great. Nottingham Forest.
That's our weekly
Tell us,
diary
Beef.
affair, isn't it?
Tell us, Beef.
I will not be watching. It's going to be a shocker.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. That's a dour affair. That's not one you want to tune into. But I'm going to go with Wolves to beat Forest. I don't know why. Wolves at home, I guess. That's the only thing I can base it off on that game.
I'm going Forest.
Forest, you reckon they're going to start pulling it together?
Well, they got a 1-0 draw against Villa.
Portugal getting
1-1
ready for the
draw.
World Cup.
Yeah, well. Tottenham versus Everton.
Sniffing a draw here.
No, I'm feeling good about this one.
Yeah?
I'm feeling good. I think
Good about a draw.
we'll score 3. That's it.
Well, that's a
So
bold
no
prediction.
9 defenders?
That is a bold prediction.
I hope not.
Just 8 this week.
I think DCL's he played on the weekend, so he's back. They finally got a striker back. Thank God for them.
They do fuck all.
But yeah,
Nil all.
he's got to then start his season pretty much now because he hasn't played at all.
It's the 3:30 game, so it'll be testing
rubbish. 3:30 on a
Sunday.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you'll be getting up for that? Or?
Yeah.
100%, mate.
So you have a
Stay
quiet one
awake,
Saturday
mate.
night, will you?
Nah, stay awake.
Quiet. Saturday night.
Bender.
They don't go together.
Aston Villa versus
They do
Chelsea.
eventually.
You know what? You could almost go Chelsea, big win. Aston Villa, Stevie G sacked.
Ooh.
What do you reckon?
It's a race.
So I would 100%
race.
say you're right, Jenga. It's a race between Aston Villa and Leicester who sacked their manager first.
The only thing that you could say is that if Crystal Palace are beating Leicester at home, that's a way worse Leicester result than if Chelsea beat Aston Villa.
I agree.
You know, like like you could sort of go, yeah, but
I agree, but
or it could just be the final nail. In the
they
coffin.
can't get tonked either.
Yeah,
Aston
no,
Villa.
they have to put up a showing.
Yeah, they have to put up a bit of fight.
There's the odds.
What are they, Joe?
What are they?
1-3 and then 3-1 for Gerrard. So whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, I got no idea what.
So I think
I'll
it means,
try
I think
for 10 years to
I-
understand British betting.
now what it means is that if for,
Brendan Rodgers,
for every
$1.30.
dollar that you put in, you'll get 3 back. If it's 3-1 for every 3, you have to put in $3 to get
get
$1
$1
back.
Oh, okay.
Fucking backwards.
Obviously, Brendan Rodgers.
So like
it's much shorter
Gerrard
than
is like
Gerrard.
$1.30.
33.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
makes
Rodgers would be like $3.
Nah, it's the other way
Yeah,
around.
sorry, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Gerrard's $3, Rodgers would be $1.30.
Yeah.
I think.
Which is
we'll
fair.
ask Smitty.
That
Can
makes
you
sense.
confirm? Comment
Yeah,
on the video.
Smizbet. Comment on the
And
video.
Klopp's not on the list, so thank you.
Leeds versus Arsenal. Leeds away for Arsenal. I think we win that game
Comfortably.
Yeah.
As I said, I've said it a few times. I'd love to keep a clean sheet. I don't know why we're leaking goals back there. Like,
Aren't you better away?
I don't know what's like. I don't honestly think Ramsdale's been
That good.
amazing this season, especially his shot stopping's been quite average.
I don't think
considering the defense that he's got in front of him, like some of his decision making could be better. Like Gabriel's got a mistake in him, but at the same time they're playing well together. I don't understand where like all these goals are getting league from. But I'd love a clean sheet. I'd love like a 2-0 or something like that. That'd be good. Manchester United versus Newcastle. That's a good game. I wouldn't mind watching that one on replay because I think that's on the same time as Leeds Arsenal.
Is it?
I think so. I honestly think Newcastle can do some damage here. I hope so anyway.
It depends what United turn up, really.
Yeah.
Because there seems to be two of them.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, depends on the day.
Yeah.
But
It's a good test for Newcastle though as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm feeling like a Newcastle go to Old Trafford win 3-1.
I think Newcastle have been on, off.
Yeah, they have. They're struggling with consistency.
They're due for an off.
They're due for an off. Yeah, Manchester United 5, Newcastle. Well, that's the problem, right? You're right, because if United turn up and Newcastle don't, United could fucking
pump them.
Yeah, exactly right. Like,
It depends who turns up.
Exactly. It depends which team turns up on the day. Hopefully, two best teams turn up on the day and we get a real good match. That'd be good.
The best team win, yeah.
Football.
Whoever scores
football,
probably
Whoever
win.
scores the most goals will win the game. Southampton versus West Ham.
It's Premier League football.
There'll be a couple
they
of
should
goals.
Just give us one, dude. Give us one vanilla.
Old Ralph Hasenhüttl. Hasenhüttl. Did I get that right?
I don't know.
Hasenhüttl. That's it.
Is it?
Houston Huddle.
Hasenhüttl.
Just say Ralph.
Ralph.
It's hash
Ralph
noodle.
H. Mr. H.
Hasenhüttl.
Hash noodle.
Mr. H. What about him?
This podcast is going in mad direction
Yeah.
this week, hasn't it? I think he's a bit under the pump as well. He's got to get some results.
But he's like perennially there, isn't he?
I don't think they'll sack him. Like he got done 9-0 in successive seasons.
Yeah.
True.
I don't think they'll sack
He's
him.
been there
He's
for
long term now, isn't he?
He's been there for like 4 years, I think. So
Part of the furniture.
He's
in
the
EPL,
granddad
isn't it?
down there. St. Mary's.
he's a good character. I like him. Last game of the round.
And that's it for the podcast.
See you next week.
Liverpool versus Manchester City, boys. This could go one of two ways. You could win or you could lose.
I keep saying that.
Can we draw or is that an option?
no in between.
I'd be happy with a fucking draw.
I mean,
Huge
of
match,
course
but
you would. It's
Humongous
massive.
match.
It's massive
In previous
for the
2
league.
seasons, this was the title deciding match, remember?
Exactly right,
Whenever they
yeah.
play, it'd be like whoever drops points here, they're going to go 38.
Yep.
Thanks for reminding us, Ethan, that
Yeah.
once upon a time.
You're a real
Not
prick.
too long.
There's got to be something in there for Liverpool. Surely you got to be like, oh no, you know what City are like. You know what's expected of you to beat City.
I think that would the players are going to be up for it and they're going to want to do
You
well.
can't-
But how demoralised and lacking in confidence are they going to be?
Yeah.
And is it going to be a case
Well, as
of
you
like
said.
Holland scores 2 minutes in and everyone just goes
But
down,
that's the thing. If you can nullify that, and as you said, sit back
Grow
and
into
just
the game.
and just grind out that first 15 minutes. See if you can nullify City. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
You might not have the facilities for that big man.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man. You understand?
You know what
It's a
though?
good video, eh?
If,
so good.
if Robertson comes back, right, from injury,
Mm.
and Gomez is playing right back,
Yeah.
who is a lot more, I rate Trent,
He's a
but
lot more
Gomez is
sturdy.
a lot more defensive minded.
Yeah.
And I think Kanate, for his physical presence over Matip
Yep.
and Van Dijk, that defense isn't terrible if they all play a good game, which they all fucking can because I've seen it.
So that's what I mean.
That's
You
a
can
fucking
fully.
fantastic defense.
I was
Yeah.
going to say you can fully interchange your defense and just like have a crack, see what happens. Like he's got no choice now but to leave Alexander Arnold out. I think he's injured.
well, he's injured.
It,
so he
it
can't
honestly
play.
it could be a bit of a blessing in disguise.
But who comes in for Diaz?
That's the fucking issue.
Well, he'll just mix it up because, probably Bobby
So
will
Bobby can play wide, can he?
No, I'd say Bobby will probably
Out the middle.
play off Darwin and Jota will
Jota.
play out on the left.
Okay.
Jota's due a fucking goal too.
And then hopefully it's Thiago and Fabinho in midfield.
Yep.
If that
You
team
need
went
that
out
presence
there
in there, yeah.
with a mindset of like, we're going to play our game, but we're going to be a little bit less
See,
throwing bodies forward. 'cause
if
we know what
I'm
can
Liverpool, I'm building that team around Thiago because he is fucking world class, man.
happen. He is, but I don't think that
He's
we can.
north of 30 though.
Yeah, we can't build
I
it
know,
around
but
him
like,
forever.
I know, but like to get something out of like, say, what do you need
Yeah.
for this team for you to make it
Yeah.
tick? Because
He's without
the
a doubt,
person that's
he's-
going to make that team tick.
Oh yeah, that's why we signed you.
Yeah.
His
He just-
skills, like he's we have a good fucking team, but he's just so skillful.
He's incredible, man. Like
He has
as I
refined
said,
the art of jogging to a T.
Yeah,
The bloke hardly ever sprints, yet he's everywhere.
he's everywhere. Yeah,
He's just with his socks half down, shinnies out, a couple of shimmies.
He come running
Back
over
heel
to a press
flick.
conference. He's like, "Yeah, hello." What the? I'll be like,
yeah. No, I just if I was Klopp, I'd be saying, what are the tools that I can give you out of this team
Jude
for
Bellingham.
you to? No, I mean with what you've got, man. Like you've got to.
Yeah.
You can't just pull players out of nowhere. Sorry, mate. You've got to rescue
In a transfer window,
You've
you
got to rescue your season now. This is the time to do it.
Yes,
now.
there's a point in time.
Exactly right. This is a turning
Milestone
point. 'Cause
of your season.
If you get battered here, that's lights out. I think.
Would you play Milner over Simicast if Robertson isn't available?
I would.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. Right.
Big game experience. We know
Yeah.
he can play left back.
Yeah.
I think him playing more games is doing him worse
Simicast.
than when he just comes in and plays Robbo.
Needs a
Yeah.
rest.
I
Or he's just not good enough.
Yeah,
He's
that's
just
right.
not Liverpool caliber.
I don't think so. No,
Oh, big call.
I like having like we've had some fucking pretty honking ones in the past.
Paul Konchesky comes to mind.
Don't
I was
talk to
gonna
me
say-
about honking fullbacks. You ever play with Andre Santos or whatever his name was?
At least he had a fancy name. We had
No, it don't matter. You don't
Paul
want the.
Konchesky-
If you watched him play, he made Emerson Royale look like he was like the greatest
Royale.
football ever.
I'm telling you right now, Paul Konchesky is the worst footballer I've ever seen put on a red
Have you
shirt.
ever seen Alberto Moreno?
At least he offered something.
on,
Paul
yeah,
offered
yeah,
nothing.
fucking own goals.
No, he scored a screamer against Tottenham, a winner. He was fast down the wing, he could whip it across.
He scored a
What did
screamer
Paul
against
do?
us.
Him and Roy, the Roy Hodgson
screamer
days.
against us in the FA Cup.
I'm telling
What were you
you.
going to say, Beef?
I'll give you a 2-for-1 deal. I'll take Konchesky, you take Aurea and Royale.
Yeah, look, that's not
I would
bad.
honestly rather
doubt.
have Aurea and Royale than Paul Konchesky.
No, because Konchesky got fucked off real quick. It was good.
Anyway, everyone, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the video.
Do it.
Who's the
Wait.
worst fullback that's ever played?
Yeah,
for
who
your
is
team?
the worst fullback that has ever played for your
Not
team?
centre back, fullback.
Fullbacks.
Alberto Moreno.
Yeah, we
Paul
got
Konchesky.
Arsenal got some honkers. I think everyone's got some. Well, you got to have some honkers because that's where you put your worst players, isn't it?
In all age, you might.
Anyway,
It's the best player or the worst player. Sorry to anyone who I ever put there.
so don't forget to follow us on the socials: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We're on all three. Fantasy League. I'll put the code in the description as always. Thanks everyone for watching. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll be back with some brighter spirits next week, boys. What do you reckon?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. It could only get worse
Time
from
will
here
Can't guarantee anything.
Might be sick next week.
again.
or I could be here drinking rum. We'll see what happens.
Oh, very good. All right, yeah. Well, as boys, as always, it's been a pleasure. We'll
Thank you,
catch
mate.
us all in the next one.